Hello everyone, I'm delighted to present our paper Appropriation of Digital Tracking Tools in an Online Weight Loss Community, Individual and Shared Experiences on behalf of myself, Conor Linehan and Samantha Dockray. This work was carried out in University College Cork in Ireland with support from the Irish Research Council and S3 Connected Health. Understanding how the design and usage of technology can support healthful behaviours is a research area of vital importance with significant implications for population health. For many people, modest weight loss can reduce the risk of developing chronic disease. Tracking is a process of conducting a status check on one's current internal or behavioural state through recording, analysing and reflecting to gain self-knowledge. Indeed, tracking one's diet, exercise and weight has been described as the cornerstone of weight loss efforts. Though people may have many diverse reasons for tracking, including for weight loss, a negative discourse often surrounds the general use of tracking tools. Past research has highlighted, for example, tracking tools do not consistently meet users' needs, reasons why people stop tracking, barriers that users experience while tracking, and the problematic use of tracking tools in the context of enabling disordered eating. However, perhaps the way we are studying the phenomenon of tracking, by focusing on broad problems with the process or concentrating on prescriptive user studies of specific tools, has prevented us from seeing the value of these tools and how they can be improved. To improve future designs, perhaps a more bottom-up approach is warranted, exploring self-directed approaches to tracking for a specific goal. One way to examine this is by considering appropriation. Appropriation typically describes situations where users create unforeseen uses of technology and practices around their use, highlighting new requirements for future tools. This process also surfaces new insights for currently unsupported but desirable future functions and may help to identify specific features that are problematic for users. One place where may be fruitful in exploring how people use technology in self-directed ways are within online health communities, which provide a space where people seek out and provide support for weight loss activities, including tracking. Reddit is a social news website and online forum containing a number of health-related discussion subforums. In the current study, we examined the subreddit r/loseit, which has 1.9 million members and is described as a place for people of all sizes to discuss healthy and sustainable methods of weight loss. Of particular interest to the HCI community is understanding how tracking tools are used in the pro-social context of online forums and how these communities influence individual health behaviour change. Our research question in this study was, what are the experiences of members of an online community, r/loseit on reddit.com, who posted about using digital tracking tools for weight loss? A targeted search within r/loseit resulted in the identification of 379 public posts. Our terms revolved around MyFitnessPal, tracking, apps, or technology. We selected to only specifically name MyFitnessPal as a tracking tool based on it being used as part of a larger research project we were involved in at the time. Data were subjected to thematic analysis, and we took an experiential orientation, focusing on understanding what members thought, felt, and did while tracking. Members' experiences were reflected in 4 key themes in our findings. Our first theme was tracking as gaining insight. Tracking enabled individuals to bring more awareness to their eating and led to moments of reflection in weight loss through the process of logging honestly to gain an objective perspective of their internal state. Our second theme was tracking as a vehicle of control. r/loseit members experienced tracking as a means of gaining control over their weight loss process and by extension over their life. The theme tracking as a vehicle of control demonstrates how tracking can both facilitate or reduce an individual's control over their weight loss and their lives. The third theme was confronting challenges in sustaining tracking. Members shared experiences of struggling with using tracking tools and integrating the process of tracking into their daily lives. They also navigated negative emotions in relation to the tracking tool and questioned the accuracy of their tracking tool's estimates. Our fourth theme was teaching and learning the skills of tracking. Our work has shown that virtual communities can enable social and behavioural processes to become observable. r/loseit members coached other members based on their experiences of using tracking tools and provided practical advice. We discuss these themes further in the paper, and over the next couple of slides, we'll go through the key findings of our work. Our analysis has revealed a variety of individual experiences, highlighting complex socio-technical practices that have evolved around the use of trackers, which were influenced by the social context of this online health community with its own rules, goals, and norms. The social context of our loseit shaped both the individual usage of tracking tools as well as self-regulatory processes for health behaviour change. We discuss what we have learned over the next couple of slides and make suggestions based on our findings for designing technology to support health behaviour change. First of all, we found that tracking and self-regulation is scaffolded by our loseit. Our work has shown that virtual communities can enable social and behavioural processes to become observable. Our data suggests that a socio-technical feedback loop is at play in weight loss trackers, which influence users' feelings, motivation, and behaviours, i.e., whether or not they will continue tracking. These emotional reactions are mediated by the our loseit community in this study, in that sharing their individual experiences online added another layer in between the tracker, the data it presented, and the individual. We also found that tracking can support or stifle personal agency. Tracking was so much more than a way to record and reflect on personal data and make sense of it. Tracking at times represented an empowerment process where people took control over their lives through gaining mastery over their habits. Trackers were also used as an external cognition tool to support members' weight loss. For example, some members pre-logged their food before eating or used the tracker as an external decision maker for whether or not they should eat something. On the other hand, trackers imposed a rigid lifestyle onto some users, making them work to accommodate the process of tracking into their lives, rather than the tracking tool fitting into their lives. Some members found tracking easier when they ate only one meal a day, or ate just packaged foods, or continuously ate the same foods in a structured daily routine. We also found a desire to improve the accuracy of trackers. So members expressed a mistrust in the accuracy of tracking tools, particularly around physical activity trackers, and to a lesser extent food tracking apps and wireless weighing scales. Where tracking tools were perceived to be inaccurate or insufficient, members improved on standard weight loss apps, using other apps and tools for certain features to provide context and to see the bigger picture around weight loss. People also developed elaborate rules of thumb within the community, refusing to eat exercise calories back that were doled out by a tracker, and they double logged or carried out checks of distances covered to test if the trackers were correct. In particular, the theme Teaching and Learning the Skills of Tracking evidenced the desire for personalised tracking tools. Tracking coaches took members' personal information, for example, body weight, goal weight, height, etc., and performed calculations using equations to provide personalised feedback on their daily calorie intake. This highlights how tailoring information to the individual user can support overcoming challenges in the weight loss tracking progress. And as such, more tailored, customizable tracking tools are warranted, which can implement appropriate behaviour change techniques relevant to the individual and account for the individual user's personal motivation, goals, and desired pace. Finally, examining appropriation as a user-centered design approach. The way members coached each other to use the tracking tools highlights gaps where the tools are not useful, where there are technological or socio-technical problems, and indeed how users want to use trackers. We found that studying the appropriation of tracking tools in this online community has resulted in the documentation of rich user experiences which can augment traditional user-centered design processes. Those interested in designing tools for health behaviour change, including weight loss, need to be aware of the complexity in how users and communities appropriate these tools and the role online communities play in shaping their usage. Designers need to account for how these tools can impact upon the lives of users in ways that were not envisaged. Thanks for your attention, and any questions, I'm happy to take them here or else on Twitter. Thank you.